Lifting is my passion. Muscle and fitness are my pursuits. I'm a power lifter, bodybuilder, and a big fitness enthusiast. I am Kyriakos Kalamaras, and this is my deadlift movie analysis. When performing a deadlift, a lifter will set up in a position that eccentrically loads the gluteus maximus, minimus, biceps femoris, semitendinosus, and semimembranosus, while the muscles of the lumbar contract isometrically in an effort to stabilize the spine. The conventional deadlift can be broken down into three phases: the setup, the initial pull or drive, and the lockout. When setting up, you should be located behind the bar with it touching or nearly touching the legs. Then, you will begin by hinging at the hips and knees and setting your weight directly at the heels while maintaining flat feet. Next, you will need to make sure that the spine stays long and straight as the hips hinge back, making sure the knees won't track forward over your toes. When gripping the bar, you will depress your shoulders away from your ears in an effort to load the lats and generate force throughout the erector muscles. Next, we have the drive or the pull phase. This section of the deadlift produces the highest amount of force. That's why the lifter needs to keep his muscles of the back contracted tightly in order to maintain a safe posture through the motion. Then, drive up and forward with the hips and legs to move the bar up and oneself erect simultaneously. Take a deep breath, diaphragmatic breath, and hold it in during the movement, thus creating an outward pressure on the core to further stabilize the lumbopelvic hip complex and core throughout the motion. Last but not least, we have the lockout. The finish is the most critical aspect of the motion. This requires being totally erect with the spine and forceful hip extension to engage the muscles of the lumbar spine and abdomen in unison with the glutes. Finish by driving your hips completely into the bar and getting as tall as possible. Contract the glutes while shortening the rectus abdominis to finish the movement with the pelvis in a neutral position. Contracting the glutes as well as the abdominal muscles is critical towards low back health and safety. After completing each step, we can finally lower the weight. Finishing a deadlift is simply performing these same steps, yet in reverse order. As the muscles of the back and core remain tight through the motion, one should simply hinge at the hips and knees to bring the weight down. Lowering their chest towards their knees while keeping the bar close will be the safest way to ultimately complete the motion. If you are new to this lift, you should not feel overwhelmed, because with lots of practice over time, your brain will enter a motor development stage where it will begin to force that motor skill behavior to change over time, and after a certain amount of times, this skill will be embedded in your brain through motor learning for a long period of time. Also, you should not forget that motor control of this skill has been already developed because when we see objects on the ground, generally we pick them up. With improvement of motor development over time, our brain is also able to develop proprioception, meaning it is able to realize where the bar is sitting in space and appropriately let the lifter know where to place his legs and feet, and ultimately affect our motor behavior where our nervous, skeletal, and muscular systems work together in order to perform the deadlift. I hope you find this information useful. Thank you for watching.